for 98 days, she has led the race. That's why a lot of people, the technical people, the people who do this for a living, say it's not a Brexit situation. But that's what Donald Trump is counting on. If you're behind in the polls, you can defy them with a great operation. Donald Trump in many of these places is just counting on it being this huge, come out of the woodwork.
As somebody who's watched him we all have, but I've, really studied his candidacy over the past year and a half, the ups and downs, that he's fallen off the discipline wagon.
Turns out he's once again fallen off the discipline wagon, but will it matter?
Well, here's the 2016 flashback. This is where we were on this day in 2016, where our projections had Hillary Clinton at 268, knocking on the door of 270 electoral votes in the White House. But look at this map. We had the blue wall leaning blue on that day, right? She lost all three of those to Donald Trump, which is why everybody at home, be prepared for anything to happen tomorrow, in the sense that you can be leading by a little bit. But we knew there was Trump movement at the end. The question was, she had led the race for so long, was it enough to overcome? Well, it turned out on election day, it was enough to overcome. So where are we now? Right? We're in a much less clear situation, right? Let me just quickly do this. In 2020, we already had Joe Biden over the top. It was pretty clear from the data that Joe Biden was going to win the 2020 election the day before the election. We still had to wait for the count because of the pandemic complexities of the election, but it was pretty clear. And then again, you had to deal with the question, is Donald Trump surprising us again in 2020? And he did not. So here's where we are now. So the vice president, it's a modest lead, but she's had a consistent lead here. Modest lead, but a consistent lead here. Right, that would get her there. This is why Pennsylvania is so important. This is why both candidates are spending so much time and have spent so much.
And she's going to be there the entire day.
Right, right. And she's going to the right places in terms of getting votes and stuff. Because look, if she holds these, doesn't mean she will. But she's had a modest, consistent lead in both of those states. If she holds these, that's enough. As long as she picks up Nebraska's 2nd congressional district where all the polling, so she's running strong. That's her easiest path. No path is easy. But that's the easiest path. If she doesn't win this, let's say Donald Trump wins that. How does Harris get there? Well, you have to win at least 2 more. And even these 2 wouldn't be enough. Let's say she did well out here. Those 2 aren't enough because they're not big enough in terms of how many electoral votes they have. That's why Pennsylvania is so prominent here. If you're Donald Trump, you'd think if you win Pennsylvania that you're going to do this again, right? That you're going to defy the polling again and you're going to do this.
Because almost always, except for I think it was 88 that they didn't vote together.
They have voted blue, which is why again, will we know the winner here tomorrow night? Maybe not, but we might know the winners here. And so you see if they're sticking together or anything like that. But if you watch this play out, even if Donald Trump wins the blue wall, he still has to win somewhere else, right? But if you're winning the 3 of these, it's a pretty safe bet you're going to win at least 1 or 2 of those. We live in a pretty nationalized election climate. So that's why this one is so key, because it's 19, right? This is 16. That's 16. You think, well, that's only 3. But when you're trying to get to 270, if we have a, he wins 1, she wins 1, then you just get into this wild card race. I mean, it lets us, if